Evening, peeps. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you're doing as good as me after my team smashed Everton 4-1, 4-1 in the Merseyside derby. In fact, if you're feeling half as good as me, you're feeling pretty damn good right now. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Guys, I've got some good news. Some good news. This feels like my Amir Khan Kell Brook moment. We've waited a long time, but finally, we're going to use this studio to its full capacity next week. Finally. We've been in here, yeah? I got this studio, I think, in July. Might have been June, but I think I probably got it in June, but I didn't actually do anything in it until July. Well, I mean, when I say in it, like carpet down and paint it. So what's that? July, August, September, October, 5 months. In fact, we're at December, 6 months. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, finally, we're actually going to interview someone next week. So we've installed the lights, not these ones that are over there, but proper light, like real proper lights are over here. One for me and one for the person that's going to be sitting there. The cameras have all been installed. The mics have all been wired up correctly. And we had a test run. No, sorry, apologies. We're going to do a test run tomorrow or today by the time this video comes out, just to make sure everything is fine. But even if it isn't, it still gives us a few days to get everything. But I'm pretty sure we've got everything sorted now, and I can't wait to go. So that's the good news. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I'm still going to do these ones when I do like myself, but we are going to do loads of interviews, hopefully a couple a week. The live watch alongs are going to be with someone as well, maybe 2 people. There are 3 chairs over there. But yeah, that's all happening next week. So again, thank you so much for bearing with me. So many fights, by the way, this weekend. Like so many. It's ridiculous. On Saturday, obviously, we've got Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon 2. It's at the Copper Box, which is literally a minute over there. Honestly, I could drive there in a minute. Got Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz as well. That's on the Zone. We've got Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Cruz on Sunday. Don't be confused by that. It's on a Sunday. A lot of people reached out to me and said, Ade, where is this fight on a Saturday? It's not. It's on Sunday. So for us, over here in the UK, it's the early hours of Monday morning. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live watch along for that, which is disappointing. I am 100% doing a live watch along for Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, just because, again, it's a Saturday. So I'll go to watch. I'm actually going to Yarde after at the Copper Box. I'll go there, watch that, then come here and get ready for the live. But yeah, look, loads of good fights. I'm going to do separate videos for Devin Haney, Diaz, and Gervonta Davis, Cruz. I love both fights, by the way. Even Gervonta Davis, Cruz, I know a lot of people are giving it a little bit of stick. I like it. I think Isaac Cruz comes to fight, and it's good to see Gervonta Davis at the weight class that I want him to be at, 135 pounds. Remember, this is for his WBA regular lightweight strap. But it's a decent card as well. Let me try to remind myself what's on that card. I think we've got Derevyanchenko versus Carlos Adames on that card, if I'm correct. I think Mariaga's fighting on the card. Let's have a quick. Sergio Garcia, Spanish 154-pound unbeaten fighters on that card, I think. Let's have a quick look. But I think it's a pretty good card, by the way. Or at least the main event's pretty good anyway, or the main portion of the card. I like it. Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. Yeah, Sebastian Fundora versus Sergio Garcia. I love Sergio Garcia, by the way. Derevyanchenko versus Carlos Adames. Derevyanchenko might have lost, I think, 3 of his last 4, but 3 of his last 4 have been to Charlo, GGG, caused GGG so many problems, and Danny Jacobs. It's not too bad. And you've got Eduardo Ramirez versus Miguel Mariaga, featherweight fight. So that's decent. So, look, we might do a live watch along, but the only problem is I've got work in a few hours after that, but we'll see. We might do it. I just don't know how many people are going to be up. That's, you know what the thing is? I don't know how many people will be up watching it with me. I don't want to do a live and there's only a couple of 100 people, but we might do it. But Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, we're definitely going to do. Good little fight card as well. Montana Love's on it versus Carlos Diaz. Jessica McCaskill, 147-pound champion. She's fighting Candy Wyatt. Hergovich is on that card as well. Austin Williams on that card. We haven't seen him for a while, so he's on the card. So look, decent card. But I want to focus on the card that's happening in the UK, in London. Again, Copper Box, a few minutes away from here. And that's Lyndon versus Anthony Yarde 2. I think, could be wrong here, but I think by the time they step in the ring on Saturday, it would have been a year to the day when they actually fought each other. Obviously, the world's changed a little bit, I guess, when they fought each other last time, it was behind closed doors. That might have played a part in the result. I don't believe it did, but it might have. But yeah, since then, Yarde has had a couple of fights fall through. I was at his last fight in Birmingham, which I think was 1 round. I think he broke the guy's rib in a round. So he's only had a round in a year. Lyndon Arthur had a fight in July. It went a few more rounds than that. He got a late TKO as well. So look, both of them are coming off stoppage wins. And they get it on again. They get it on again in what is the best division in British boxing right now. The light heavyweight division is really, really good. Really good. It's weird. We've added a lot of talent to it in the last year. Like when people were saying it was really good a year or so ago, they were saying Callum Johnson, Buatsi, Yarde. That was it. That was it. Some people were saying Hosea Burton, but it was really those three. Callum Smith now is in the division. Craig Richards has looked good recently. And then you've got Dan Aziz coming up, and obviously Lyndon Arthur in doing that, beating Anthony Yarde. So you've got at least 7 or 8 good guys in there, and all of them, by the way, think they're number one. All of them. You ask them all. Callum Johnson probably has more claim to be a number one, maybe. Some might say Craig Richards does after that good performance against Bivol. But Buatsi, it's a shame that he's not fighting Vlasov. But look, we've got 8 guys, I think, because you can chuck Shakan Peters into there as well. 8 guys that I think would all give each other really good fights. All of them. But let's focus on Yarde versus Arthur. I will say straight away, and I'll try and explain my thought process, but I do think Yarde gets the job done here, and I think he could potentially stop Lyndon Arthur as well. I think the question marks are probably Yarde's gas tank. And what I mean by that is, I think if Yarde starts fast and puts it on Lyndon Arthur, he could get him out of there. Problem is, if he doesn't get him out of there, almost like what he didn't do against Kovalev, then that could be a problem because the gas tank could run empty very, very quickly. And sometimes I do wonder if Yarde knows this, which is why Yarde doesn't start the fight so fast. Maybe he doesn't trust his own gas tank. I do think that Yarde can't start. I've watched that fight again recently, and it's almost like he starts a bit arrogant, like I'm on another level to Lyndon Arthur, and then he realizes that he's not on another level, and I don't think you can switch it up mid-fight like that. I don't think, unless you're one of the really good elite fighters, you can maybe change things around. He wasn't able to do that. Yes, he hurt Lyndon Arthur in the last round, but up until then, Lyndon Arthur was winning the fight on a jab. And in fact injured one of his hands. So he's really winning the fight with one hand. That's what happened. I just feel like Yarde will start this fight a bit faster. I think he's going to throw more punches and bunches, more combinations, not single shots. There'll be heavy shots, but not single heavy shots like he was trying to do last time round. I think it'll be 3s and 4s from Yarde, and I think he'll put the pressure on Lyndon Arthur a bit more. And if Yarde can close that distance and put the pressure on, he is the bigger and the stronger of the two, and he's a very, very hard puncher. Like, I've been to the training camp and I've seen Yarde hit the heavy bag, I've seen him hit the pads. So not that little pitty-patty stuff you guys see, but I've seen him hit the pads properly. And I'm telling you now, that guy has superpower in both hands. So if he can close the distance, it'll be a problem. If he can't close the distance, then I guess Lyndon Arthur's going to do what he did first time round, which is use his jab all night. Use his jab, engage when he needs to. Lyndon Arthur's not a small guy either. Engage when he needs to, and he could win this on points again. He really could. But I think it's down to how Yarde starts this fight and how Yarde dictates the pace of the fight. Again, if Yarde makes it comfortable for Arthur and doesn't put the pressure on him, then it, honestly, again, I'll say it, but Lyndon Arthur could win this by literally not stealing rounds, but winning it on the jab and just landing a couple of shots, then going back on the outside again. And Lyndon Arthur's comfortable fighting on the back foot. Yarde needs to get him and get him quickly. Needs to close the distance and stop this pity-patty shit. Really needs to sit on his punches like he did. I know it's a different level of a guy, but like he did when he fought that guy he did in Birmingham. Literally, he ran over to him and started landing heavy shots. Like, I'm not here to play. I'm here to show you that I'm on another level. And I think he needs to do that with Arthur. He needs to show Arthur that, you know what? We're trying to get to world level here. And that was just a stumbling block. And we're going to run over you now. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not sure, but I know that's their thinking in the camp. They, whether it's disrespectful or not, they thought they were above Lyndon Arthur. They really did. You hear Tunde speak, and they genuinely thought that Yarde is a world level fighter already now. And I think they were so surprised that they got beat by, at the time, what was a British level fighter. I don't know if Lyndon Arthur's above that now, but at the time, Lyndon was a British level fighter, and I think it shocked them. Do I think they underestimated Lyndon Arthur a little bit? Yeah, I really do. But again, if you've underestimated him going into camp and you've underestimated him through camp, you can't then all of a sudden change up when the going gets tough in the fight. You're not that good enough fighter to do that. So I think this time, no stone unturned. I think that Yarde knows, as well as Tunde, you lose this one, it's difficult. It's difficult. Look, he'll still get good fights. You know, I mentioned some of the British light heavyweights that are around. I mean, if he loses, Dan Aziz fights there. I think that's a great fight. If he wins, and then, I mean, you look at what the other top guys in the division are doing. Again, Callum Johnson's fighting Joe Smith. Boatsi will have a rescheduled fight against Vlasov. That's the kind of level that Anthony Yarde wants to be at. But he's got to win, and he's got to be impressive. He's 30 now, Yarde. I mean, this isn't, you know, Yarde coming through. We need to make a move. If he is that guy, he needs to make a move now. There are so many good light heavyweights in the world, and I think Yarde can mix it with quite a few of them. I really do. I like Yarde. I do like him, and I do think his ceiling's a bit higher than Arthur's. And I think the final round, when Yarde knew there was a problem and he really started to put pedal to the metal, he nearly got Arthur out of there. If honest, he hurt Arthur in that fight. I think he will not attack like that, because you'll be silly to do that. We saw Teofimo Lopez do that at Cambosos and he came unstuck in the first round. You don't need to do that, but you do need to be a bit more aggressive. And I think Yarde will be a bit more aggressive. And this is not me overlooking Arthur. I think Arthur's a good fighter. I just think that, there's more from Yarde to come. I think he'll show that as well. I think Yarde's a good fighter. I know people dig Tunde, and this isn't a video about whether or not Tunde is a great trainer or not, because people have already made their conclusions of that. But I just think Yarde will show that he can go to world level. I don't know if Arthur can. So that's my own personal opinion. I don't know a Yarde personally. I watch him and I think there's more there. I really do. And whether or not Tunde can unlock what's there or not, I'm not sure. But there's definitely a lot more there with Yarde, and I expect it to be a good fight. I really do on Saturday. There's a couple of decent fights in the undercard as well. Hamza Shiraz versus Bradley Skeet, I think, is on the undercard, right? I think Dennis McCann's on the undercard as well. Always exciting to see him. So a quick look at what they've got on the undercard. So Hamza Shiraz, versus Bradley Skeet. I haven't seen Bradley Skeet for ages. The last time I remember watching Bradley Skeet fight is when he went to Spain, and for that, Lajara, I can't pronounce his name. Kerman Lejaha. I'm going to butcher his name. That's the last time. And then he fought that Diego Ramirez and lost as well. But what we got on there? We got Sam Noakes versus Sean Cooper. Dennis McCann is facing a guy called Juan Jurado. George Fox versus Kamil Sokolowski. Interesting. That's going to be interesting, because that Sokolowski is a bit of a problem, isn't he? But yeah, I'm looking forward to being there. Should be a good little scrap. Remember, this is for the WBO Intercontinental Light Heavyweight title and the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight title as well. The winner will go on. The loser, again, still good fights. Still good fights for the loser. Like the loser could, and this is not disrespecting the name I'm going to mention, but if you're a Shakan Peters, I mean, you wouldn't mind fighting a Lyndon Arthur or an Anthony Yarde. I'd love to see, by the way, Anthony Yarde versus Dan Aziz. Woo! That would be like a fucking Mr. Olympia showdown. Both of those guys are jacked. That is brick versus brick. I doubt it's going to happen. One fight's on Sky Sports, one fight's on BT Sports. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Lyndon Arthur versus Anthony Yarde. What's your predictions, guys? I'll give you mine. I think, if I didn't already, I don't know if I have, but I think Yarde will stop Lyndon Arthur between round 7 and 11. It's giving myself a bit of a window, that, isn't it? Okay, let's stick to A round, 9. I think he stops from round 9. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.